Hi everyone, welcome back to the Nature Patch. My name is Robin and this afternoon I felt like filming a video, so that is exactly what I'm doing. I'm outside here on the balcony. It is finally starting to cool down. It was a really hot day today. It's a Sunday afternoon. Made myself a nice little Aperol. And I thought I would just do a little bit of a summary on growing garlic for the first time, what my thoughts were about it, some of the things that I thought I did pretty well, and some of the things that I definitely didn't do too well with the garlic harvest for 2021. So as you can see here behind me, the gnomes are caretaking the garlic at the moment. Half of the garlic back there has been drying for maybe about 2 weeks or so, and I just harvested the last of the garlic today. So this was my very first time trying to grow garlic, so I'm pretty impressed that I actually got some garlic from all of the cloves that I planted. So in about mid-March, I planted 2 separate areas of garlic in the garden because I just wanted to see which areas did better. The first one I planted over in my little kind of permaculture patch, which gets quite a lot of shade over winter and also a bit of shade in summer, so it's really great to garden over there in summer. And the other patch I planted over in the very brand new garden bed that we have created, which has never been planted in or amended or anything like that. So we were really starting from scratch from that area over there. The variety that I chose to grow was Glenlarge garlic. I would really recommend just having a Google about what garlic grows best in your region, rather than going towards, the ones that look pretty or the largest or, have the best yield. It definitely pays off to ask around, ask different nurseries and garden centres around what variety actually grows best in your climate. For us, we are a very warm climate where we don't get frosts over winter. Sometimes it can get quite cool overnight, but then during the day the temperatures will spike again. So then the soil temperature overall on average actually doesn't get that cold because we have that wild fluctuation of cold nights and warm days here kind of west of Brisbane. So that meant that Glenlarge garlic was the best option for us. So I bought some and planted it in the ground. I have a video on all about how I amended the soil for garlic, and I'll tell you right now that video, the bed that I amended the soil, the garlic did a lot better than the other one where I didn't amend it exactly how I did in that video. So I added lots of things like cow manure, worm castings, sugarcane mulch to ensure that all of that nutrients was capped and stayed in that bed. And I really worked on making that soil compatible for growing garlic. And I was definitely impressed with the strength of the garlic in that area. The only downfall of that area was I think the area just did not get enough sunlight, and the garlic really struggled to obtain all of that nutrients. I think if I reversed the sites and the garlic that I grew over in the permaculture patch was in the more sunny spot with that type of soil, it would have done so much better. So definitely next time I'm going to make sure that I have a full sun area over the winter months because the sun just wasn't getting high enough in the sky for that garlic to thrive. Something I also did that was really successful was feeding the garlic quite heavily with worm tea, or just kind of the liquid, the leachate that comes out of the worm farm. You really want to build up a lot of nitrogen in the soil and feed your garlic a lot of nitrogen when the green tops are growing. The more kind of strength and green that the garlic puts into its early stages, then the more energy it's going to have to be able to bulb up, which is the part that we eat. So all of those amendments, cow manure, worm castings, all of that was super amazing for the garlic. I did also plant some elephant garlic in that patch, which I have one here actually. This was me not listening to my advice and being like, it's fine, I'll plant elephant garlic here. It'll grow amazing in the Brisbane climate. No, Robin, it didn't. Whether it was my growing or just the type, or just this is just a finicky thing to grow. Yeah, you could see it didn't really bulb up a lot. But the good thing is, because this is related more to the leek family than actually a garlic, I'm just going to use this as I would a leek, and it has a very similar taste. It's going to be amazing in stews and soups. Not that I'm going to really feel like that with these temperatures, but yeah, let me know if you have had any more success with elephant garlic. I have left some still in the ground, so I'm going to see if it bulbs up any more than it has currently, but the few that I have harvested from here haven't really done very much. I don't think it got cold enough for this to be stressed enough to then be able to kind of multiply around the bulbs. Or I may just need to keep it in the ground for a little bit longer, but it has been in there for the recommended growing time, same as the garlic as well, so I don't know. But I'll definitely try again wherever we do move to try and grow this again, because it would be amazing to just be able to pull out just a massive garlic looking thing out of the ground. Yeah, we really like garlic in our family. So the downfalls and my failures of growing garlic was definitely in the other patch, and that was completely down to the soil that was over there. I probably planted it in the worst spot of this brand new garden, which is up the very top of the slope. So with this garden, all of the nutrient slopes down, and I try and catch it as much as I can in the swales. But the garden bed up the top seems to be the most consistently dry bed and the bed with kind of the least amount of nutrients. So I definitely should have paid more attention to amending that soil, which is just the native soil with a little bit of cow manure kind of mixed in, but not to the extent that garlic needs. I'm going to lather on the nitrogen and food for garlic next time I grow it, because it was just overall, not compatible with that area. You'll see, I'll put an overlay on the screen of me harvesting this garlic, but you can kind of see it was rock hard, the soil. It is very kind of interesting soil here. It's quite loamy but very rocky and really solidifies when it's dry. Not so much like clay does. You can still kind of like tap it apart if you have like a pickaxe. But yeah, it just was really hard to get this garlic out of the ground. I stopped the water a few weeks before I harvested both as well, which is another tip to do. You can kind of see here, that means that all of the kind of creepy layers around the garlic can start to dry and it will store a lot better. So yeah, definitely switching off the water is a really good idea a few weeks before. Oh, Annie's come to join me. Annie, you want to say hi? Everyone said I should have the cats in the next video. Annie likes to jump off the balcony, so I'm a bit wary about that, but you can come out for a little bit. Yeah, she's going to go grab some catnip so she can roll around in the garden bed on the balcony under very strict supervision. I also noticed in the bed over there, I'm pointing, but I'm going to put overlays on the screen so you'll know what I'm talking about. The dry, sunny bed, a lot of the garlic was just flopping over. It was just done. It didn't really want to do anything anymore. It was just tired and wanted to go to sleep, much like me many days. So if you see your garlic flopping over and not standing upright, it's probably an indication that A, you don't have enough nutrients in the soil, which was definitely a case for me, or your garlic is getting too little or too much water, which I think the other area was actually getting a little bit too much water because I had stopped watering it for so long, but the soil was just so moist, and I think that's because I had that layer of sugarcane over the top. So it was retaining a lot of moisture and nutrients, which I think stressed out the garlic. So you just want to keep an eye to see what's happening with your garlic. If you see signs of stress, like it's falling over, or the leaves are yellowing too soon, too early in the garlic's life, then you may want to have a look at the water or how much food you're feeding it. The other fail that I had, which one actually just fell off this here, but you can see that this one has actually split, and this means that this was just growing for too long. So I should have harvested some of these a little bit earlier in my permaculture patch. So when I was harvesting these, I noticed that quite a few had split open. that just means that it's ready to multiply. So it was done growing. It was like, cool, see ya, I'm done. And it was ready to just grow again from the sprouts. So that's what they do when they're finished growing. And a way to kind of get around this is just by digging around and having a peek, which I didn't really do because I was nervous and didn't want to disturb their sleep. So next time I will look into just how they look by digging around the garlic and having a peek in the soil. But this just means I'm going to be using all of these ones that have split open a lot earlier than I will with the others. In terms of how I'm going to use all of these, we use garlic in pretty much every meal, so we won't have a problem going through and getting through all of this. I'm probably not going to keep a lot of the cloves, maybe a few to grow again. It's quite hard in Brisbane and southeast Queensland because storing garlic, if you don't have a proper storage room which is really dry and cool, which is absolutely not our climate in summer, it's really hard to keep garlic. So I'm going to do my best, but as soon as I start to see them kind of sprouting or going different colors, I'm probably just going to peel them all and freeze them. Garlic freezes really easily, so I think that's just what I'm going to do, and then I can just pull the cloves out as I need them. So I'm going to let all of the ones that are a little bit more green back there dry a little bit before I put them away and store them in our pantry, but definitely going to start eating these. We actually did have some roasted the other night on a roast, and that was super delicious. So I definitely recommend checking out the Glenlarge garlic if you haven't tried it before and you live in a subtropical climate. There are a few other awesome garlic growing videos from people I know in Brisbane. Nikki has an amazing one which I'm going to link in the description box because I did learn quite a little bit from her video about how to grow garlic. And I think Mark from Self-Sufficient Me also has an amazing one for the kind of southeast Queensland environment. So I really hope you enjoyed this little wrap up of my garlic growing adventure. I'm going to go drink my drink and chill with my cat. So I hope you're all having a lovely week wherever you are in the world. And until my next video, happy gardening everyone. Bye.